everybody, and welcome back once again. Another edition of Inside the Headset. Here we are, week 2, game 3, and I'm with the head coach of the Blackman Blaze, Philip Shadowens. Coach, last Friday night you took on the Brentwood Bruins, and according to your next opponents, Coach, you were able to grab that game and move pretty quickly through it and get the win. And talk a little bit about it.
Thought our kids played intense. Didn't have the same emotion as you did, 4 days earlier, 5 days earlier, when you played Oakland on a Sunday. But coming back on a short week, kids worked extremely hard to prepare. We were smart enough to try to take care of their bodies from a practice standpoint. I mean, we only practiced in pads one day, but I thought our kids came out right off the bat with intensity. Put up 35 points in the first half, and really, from the first maybe 5 minutes or 6 minutes into the game, clearly established, that they were ready to play. We were ahead, and here we go. And so I was really proud of our kids. 35-0 at half. It's a great first half.
Game ended on Friday night. You had a chance to stop, and then you did your other media show on Saturday, and now you've had a chance to review that film. What comes out of that video that even though you win that big, what are some of the things that right now, standing at 2-0, in the back of your mind, based on your experience, Blackman's got to get better at?
Fundamentals. I thought, after watching the video, obviously when you hit 35-0 at half, we played a ton of kids in the second half, and they scored some points there in the second half against some of our younger kids, and it's okay. That's what when you get ahead, you want to play your other kids to get some reps and to find out who can play. But going back even in the first half, even though we're up 35-0, fundamentally we didn't do some things well. So as a staff, as individual coaches for groups, we went back and stressed a lot of fundamentals this week, because it's not ever about who you're playing. It's always about yourself. It's getting Blackman better. I've said that I think last week and the week before, and that's truly what it is. And I thought fundamentally we did some things that were out of character, that were incorrect, but things that we could things that we can correct. So we corrected those things this week at practice, and it should be our best game of the year Friday night. We should play our best football game, because we certainly worked tons on fundamentals and getting back to the basics. And with that being said, we expect our football team to play great tomorrow night. Did you
have a chance to run any plays that you possibly didn't get to run against Oakland because you just had to stay so focused on just staying late, or did you run anything different, or get to just stay normal package?
Normal package. We don't change what we do.
Right.
We tweak. You tweak things alignment wise. Based on what you see. I'm a big believer in tweaking things, but we stayed basic. We stayed fundamental. We're going to continue to do so. And we'll do that again this Friday night.
Talk about your next opponent, going not too far from here. This next opponent, you faced him many times, and I've been with you around 14 years and got to watch you. No matter what, that school will be ready to play as always, and a gritty school, and they want to win, and they're 2-0 also.
Sure, we have a target on our chest. Let's be honest. That one thing that the ESPN game did was put a target on our chest.
Right.
So if we're not ready to play, we'll lose. Riverdale, you play, we're talented. Everybody knows we're talented. You can watch our kids on the field. We have talent, but there are 4 or 5 teams that have a chance on a Friday night to beat us. On our regular season schedule, not counting all the teams in the playoffs. But everybody always has a chance. But realistically, there's 4 or 5 teams that have a legitimate chance to beat us, that can compete athletically with us and all those kind of things. And I don't mean that arrogantly. I think that's the truth. Some teams aren't athletic enough. They shouldn't be able to play with us. But Riverdale's not one of them. They can play with us, and athletically they're good. They've got a great coaching staff. Ron Lott's an offensive guru. He always has been. And if we don't play, we lose. And that's the bottom line to that. And Riverdale is very talented. They're kind of back. They're on a roll. They ended the last season really strong, and then they started the first.
They're like 4-0, aren't they? Right. They won the last 2. They won the first 2. Yeah.
So it's going to be a challenge for us. If we don't play our best, we won't win. But we're going to play our best.
I think this team is taking. Seems like certain teams take on definitions and certain things, and maybe I'm right or wrong, but it's kind of the theme that Blackman demands respect. You guys really. Is that kind of a theme with this group that these kids want? It's their season. It's the 2014 season for Blackman High School. But all in all, we've had some of these, but is it somewhat that these kids want respect to say we're going after something?
Yeah, they have a big time goal in December that everybody else has, and these kids are talented enough. If they work, they stay focused, stay unselfish, make it all about the team, not about myself. And they've done those things. Then the sky's the limit for us. We're one of those 4 or 5 teams that have a chance to win it. I mean, we are. I mean, there's no secret about that.
Right.
That don't mean you get out of the first round of the playoffs. I mean, that don't mean anything. But we are talented enough that we have a chance. But we don't look at. I don't look, and I don't let the kids really talk about something that far away. We make it very, very simple. We want to get better today and get better this week, because that's all we can control. We can't control the future. We can't control the past, but we can control today. We're going to control today, and today is let's get better. Friday nights are let's play better than we did the week before. And if you have those small goals, then the big goal is kind of there at the end. And so as long as our kids are focused on what's important, because to be honest with you, December is not important right now.
Right.
Friday night's
It's
important.
not here. We can't.
Friday night's important.
We only work on what we know.
December's not important. It's only Friday night that's important. So we're going to focus on that. I mean, we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. A lot of things can happen in the course of the year. Some people get better. Some people get worse.
Injuries.
Yeah, I mean, injuries take place. I mean, it's a bunch of kids. I mean, a bunch of 15, 16, 17-year-old kids that are playing a game. So, emotions change. Girlfriends may break up with them. I mean, all kinds of things can happen with that. So we're not assured to win a game, period. And certainly Friday night, if we don't play our best against Riverdale, we won't win. So it better be our best game of the year.
Let's wrap it up with 2 questions. One last one. I'll start with the first one, and that is, for those that haven't gotten a chance to see Riverdale, I have, and you've seen them a little bit. Talk to the fans a little bit about the ones that will be traveling to the reservation tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Talk to them a little bit about it. Riverdale's kind of changed a little bit in how they execute.
Or no huddle.
Yeah.
They're more no huddle. They're spread all over the field. Kind of take some of the playbook from Auburn. There's some of the things Auburn does. There's still a lot of 2-back. More difficult to defend because they spread you across the field. They're trying to get their athletes on your athletes and trying to make you stay disciplined and fundamental, and then they're giving you some false reads along the way too. So offensively, they're talented. Defensively, they're much better than they were last year. Running the ball much better. They have a better secondary and older secondary. Last year they were young.
Experienced.
Yeah, and so it stands out to you on both sides. But offensively, certainly they're spread all over the field, and they're going to score points on people. So we have to be very fundamental this week. If we're not, we're in trouble.
Got to ask a personal question. On Saturday in the afternoon, one of the former Blackman Blaze kids will be in town playing, and I got to ask you straight up: are you going?
No.
Not going.
No, I watch Octavius every week. He's on TV. I text him every night, but Saturday, we work all Saturday morning.
Right.
As a staff. Saturday afternoon is the time I spend with my family, and we watch football together. We grill out, and we watch football games together. We'll be sitting in my den yelling for Octavius Mathers. He knows I don't go to games. I may go to one game all year long on a Saturday.
It's tough with your schedule.
Just because we can. I mean, there's just a limit to what you can do, and I want that to be a family day for us and for my wife and girls, and so we'll watch it, and we'll be jumping up and down when he does something good, and we'll be throwing stuff at the TV. If he don't, we get to play enough. So we'll certainly be for Octavius Mathers. Watch him every time he's on TV. He hadn't missed a game yet, so he knows that. So me being there, he wouldn't see me anyway.
Well, I'm going to go, and I'll make sure I yell a little loud for you once or twice.
So I'll yell at the TV.
All right. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, that's over at the reservation, and don't think they won't be ready, and Chief Winnemall will be there. Blackman Blaze visit the Riverdale Warriors, and I'll be there.